boy, welcome everyone. A great song by Ted. This song originally was written by Ted, arranged by Derek St. Holmes with Ted and a guy named Rob Grange. I love Derek. He's the best also. His voice, his playing, everything. We're going to go through this song. I've written the tab out. It's right below the video. I want to give props to, and I will put a link to his lesson also below the video. Robert Peters III is his name and his channel, and he did a solo lesson. And that is what, it is so spot on. There was no reason to even learn it. I downloaded the video and I tabbed it out. So I'll have a link to his lesson, because his lesson is a type where he plays it slow so you can see it, and then you don't have to listen to any talking. Like I tend to talk a lot, obviously. So I'll talk us through the tab and some of the nuances of it. But if you don't want to listen to the solo, and I always do that at the end so you can skip it and go to his video. But I'll have the tab and everything, and it'll also be on Robert's site. I'm going to comment and let him know that I'm doing this, because again, I feel it's the right thing to do, right? Okay, so with that said, standard tuning, I've written this out with basically the lyrics and the chords that come and the 3 licks. We got a B lick, we've got an E lick, and we got an F sharp lick. And that's because this song is based in the key of B. So if you take the key of B, here's our B at the 6th root, right below it, E, right next to it, F sharp. Right? If we go here, we got, E, F sharp, and right below it, the key, B. So they call that B 1, the E 4, and the F sharp 5. So right off the bat, I want to talk about live versus studio. In the studio version, Ted does the E lick slightly different. Live, he doesn't bother with one part of it. He does it very similar to how he does the B lick and the F sharp lick. All right, so I'll show you the differences so you'll have both of those. Okay, that's out of the way. What you saw me do in the beginning was the studio version, and that's what I've tabbed out as far as that quote lick. Because if you do the E lick, it's simple as really removing one note. All right, so that said, we're going to start out with the B lick. You got some options, okay? Ted, of course, and Derek play this different every time. You can start out sliding into the B. You can start out with 2 Bs. You can start out, however you want to start. Go up to the, take the A note up here at 17. Whatever you need to do. But what we're going to do is start out on a B note, and that B note will be on the 5th string. So it kind of starts out with an octave, because we're going to jump to the B note on the 4th string, and we'll be going back and forth between that 5th root B note as our pedal note. So pretty much every other note is the 5th root B. So we've got the 4th fret of the G string, 2nd fret of the G string. Then always there is a quick hammer on to the 4th fret of the D string, and then the 2nd fret. And then we'll repeat that, but after we hammer in, we're going to catch to the E note, or I'm sorry, the A note on the G string, 2nd fret. So we have this. That hammer on is very fast. You almost anticipate, as soon as you hit the B, you're going right into that 4th string below the 5th string. It's so quick. Alright, so or I should say, and then second fret. So we have this. So we have this. See how we're hitting that B note every other. We'll worry about the rhythm and some of those other nuances later, but let's get the melody down. Alright, so that's the melody of the lick. Where you can add nuances would be the slide in. And kind of letting that B ring until you hit the next note. So there's, again, a little bit, you're not playing. It's more of a. As soon as I come off that octave, you almost want to deaden the note. See how it's not ringing anymore? So just use your ears, play it slow to start, and try that. So the slide in. All right, that's one way of doing it. Another way would be hitting the B note twice at the very beginning. It really does help with the timing of the song. Because that B just has that slight hold to it. So, again, play with it. You got my tab written out. That is the B lick. That is consistent throughout the song. Whenever you are on a B chord or you see a B chord through the lyrics, you can do that chord. Now, Ted does it, like in the studio version, he does it in the second half of the first verse, and then pretty much the rest of the song whenever you're on B. It just varies. So again, there's no hard right or wrong here. It's a great song to play because it's what it is. It's fun to jam. We're jamming. All right. Yeah, we be jamming. All right, so now E. So imagine we're playing a B chord, right? We're moving between those notes. Well, if we took it up to E. All right, we'd have the same lick. The difference is the same lick, when I say that, is the live version. So the next chord, lick, if you will, is an E lick, all right? We're going to learn it, he plays it up here in the first position, but I want to reference what we're doing here with this fifth root, all right? So we learned it at the fifth root. We've all been moving this melody around these fingers of that chord. If we were on E up here at the 7th through 9th fret, it'd be the same thing. Live. Remember, I said there's a difference between the live and the recorded. So if we did the recorded, we're adding the 6th note. We do that just at the first position. So again, you don't want it too bassy. You just kind of want it. So he does hammer on. I did notice a lot of times Ted will hammer on this first note, where normally that octave note, the E to E, or in this case B, is just played. But the first time with the E, then we come back to the E 6th string to an open D string. Now again, for the studio version, what we're going to do is the hammer in that's quick from the E pedal note, because we've changed chords, we're on an E chord, so E is our pedal note on the 6th string, is hammered in from the 2nd string to the 4th string. Then we go back to 2. And then our turnaround is a hammer into 2 and then hit the open 4th string. Alright, so live, he doesn't bother with the 6th of an E chord. He doesn't bother with that C sharp. He just sticks with a similar version of the... Alright, so that will be just all at the first, open and 2nd fret. But he's doing it so fast. So that's the difference with live. Now I didn't tab live out because again, all you gotta do is remove that 4th string and hammer into the 2nd. So I think you can get that. All right, now we go back to B. 2 times through, then we're going into the turnaround of our 8-bar blues. We're going to go to F sharp and then end on E. So our F sharp is the same as our E. We're just taking this chord, moving it up. The difference is, there I did it wrong because I did it twice. He only plays it once through. The difference is he only plays it once through, and that's because he stops. That would be the 2nd time, and he says just what the doctor ordered. So, you know, that the turnaround gives us that little a cappella part. So, we're root noting on the F sharp, 6th string, 2nd fret, and going between the 4th and 2nd fret. 4th string, 4, 2nd fret from the 6th to the 4th. And then we'll hammer in from 2 to 4 on the 5th string to the 2nd fret of the 5th string. And then back to our F sharp, and then another hammer on to 4, but catch 2 on the 4th string. And then just a quick E. So rhythm, again, what Derek's doing is some real nice chording that Ted plays that lick under. So we got B to an E to an F sharp. Right? Derek uses this E up here. So what you'll have is more of a, and you can either stretch your finger and slide in, kind of, all right, or you can do the whole chord. I saw it tabbed out where he's playing the open A to B. That sounds fine too. Now we're going to go up to E. So you want to hit that root note, gives you time to get to the chord. So we got F sharp and then E. So that's really, again, the rhythm, everything about that varies. I thought he might have even been playing the E up here with the 4th root, but adding the B over it with the open 6th string. And that sounds really good too. So you'd have this. So that is the rhythm. The outro is we're going to be playing our B, and we're going to go up to D and walk right down. D, to D flat to C to B. And this is not just play the chord and hit the next chord. It's a down chord D, up chord C sharp, or D flat because we're moving down, C, and then B. And then the live versions, they just do that 3 or 4 times. And then end. So Ted's lead starts out, you'll hear a slide on the guitar coming down, and even live, if he does that, he throws the slide off, and you'll hear a pick scrape. Either way, we're going to come in with this. Alright, so he's going to come in and he's going to give a unison bend on 7 on the second string and 9 on the third string. But it's not just a unison bend to stay there. What he does, again, another Ted nuance, he's going to hit that bent 9, release it, and then hit 7, but the 7 is slightly bent. This is very bluesy. A lot of blues players do that. Right? But Ted, he's doing it so damn fast that unless you slow it down, it'll go right by you. So we have this so far. Alright, he lands on 9, and then he's going to grab 9 again, that's on the 4th string, to 7 on 5. This is like starting another little idea. Alright, so we have... At that point, he's going to hit 7 again, hammer into 9, catch 7 on the 4th string, but then go down to the 3rd string at 9. Most people would do... Alright, he's going 9 to 7 on the 3rd string, pulled off from 9 to 7, and landing on the 4th string at 9. So he's doing a string skip, if you will, that adds, it's just his style. Alright, so we have this. It comes back to the 3rd string, 7 twice. Another pull off from 9 to 7, landing on 9. Alright, then another 7 and another blues bend 7, landing on 9. Back to 7 and 9 on the 4th string. So from our second idea that really kind of finishes out this measure, 9 on the 4th string to 7, and then our hammer on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, at that point, let's think of this as the next idea. The next idea is going to kind of be between the 4th and 3rd string. So what he's going to do, we've landed on the 4th string, 9. We're going to go back to 7, hammer into 9, catch 7 on the 3rd string, and we'll come back from that idea with a 7 pulled off. I'm sorry, 9 pulled off to 7, back to 9, and then 7. Another pull off from 9 to 7, landing on the 4th string, 9. Back to 7. I'll just stop there because this idea continues on. And so this is the second measure where we start at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point, we're going to move to the 5th position. We do that from when we land on that 9 on the 5th string again, we're going to slide to 7. Then we'll catch 5 on the 5th string to 7 on the 6th string twice. And then it all ends on the 5th string, but we're going to hit that and bend very slowly, a full step up to that B note. And then a slow release. All right? So that whole second measure to this point, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's more of a slow release, I should say. Okay, at that point we're going to do some bends. Now, he's holding this position and it does have a melody to it. So you're going to hit 5 and then 5 with a bend and release on the 5th string, coming back to 7. And then 5 to 7 on the 5th string, and then a 7 bend and release back to a 5 slight bend to 7 on the 6th. Now we come back to the 5th string. We're into the 3rd measure of the solo now. He's going to hit 5 to 7, but then he's going to give it a bend, and it's on the 6th fret. 5. So it's a bend and release, and then when we get to 5, it's a bend as we strike it and hit bent. All right, we'll do that 5 times. Then we come back 7 to 5, and 7 again with a bend and release to 5, 7 on the 6th string. And then a 5, 7 bend and release on the 5th string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's the 3rd measure. So for this 4th measure of the song, we're going to do a nice little run up to some really cool licks that Ted does. We're going to start out on the 6th string, 5 to 7. Alright, so this is, let's call this technically the end of the solo, because then he comes back with, God, I love that lick. Okay, but leading up to it, this little walk-up is going to start out 5, 7 on the 6th string, 5th string, 5, 7, but slide up to 9. Then we come to the 4th string, 7 to 9, pulled off back to 7, landing on 9 on the 5th. Then we come back to 7. So think of that as the little first half. And then rather than play a pull off on 4, we're going to skip to the 3rd. So we'll pull off from 9 to 7, landing on 9 on the, that's on the 3rd to the 4th. Now we're going to do a little Chuck Berry again. 9 bent up on the 3rd string, catching 7 on the 2nd to 7 on the 1st. Then come back to the 10th fret of the 2nd, pulled off to 7, landing on 9 on the 3rd. Alright, another hit on 7 to 10, pulled off to 7 on the 2nd string. 9 to 7 on the 2nd, 1st, 2nd, 1st. So a little different here. It's kind of like a stutter step to keep us there and finish out the lick. Because what we'll do after that 2nd set of 7s, 9, again, and then a pull off, 10 to 7. So pull off 10 to 7, landing on 9 on the 3rd, back to 7 on the 2nd. Then a 9 bend and release and pull off to 7 on the 3rd, landing on 9, 4th string. Alright, so we have this. And then we end with, it's 3 quick 7s and then hit 7 to pull, slide down. All right, then my whole favorite lick of this song, it's all based off of B, first position. All right, we got the second pentatonic position, the third pentatonic. All right, but either way, we're playing the third to second string. So we're going to start out sliding into the 8th fret from 6, and then 4 hits on 7, very quick. And sliding to the 8th fret, from the 8th fret to 11, catching 10 4 times. Now we're going to slide up to 13 on the 3rd string to 12 4 times. So we have this. Now we're going to slide up to the 16th fret of that 3rd string from 13. Catch 15, but only hit it once. Then we're going to bend up the 17th fret of the 2nd string, catching 17 on the 1st, and that will be our that will be kind of the ending of the lead. But what we do is we'll pre-bend 17, release to 15, and then catch 17 on the 1st string with the bend and vibrato. Alright, so, again, I tabbed it out. You'll have everything you need to follow along. Use your ears. You will really enjoy playing this song. I hope this helps everybody, and I really want to thank Mr. Robert Peters III for his lesson on the solo, because it helped a lot. So, enjoy.